What's up, folks? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be building my dream inventory, and this is following a few requests from you guys in the comments and in the Discord. Now I must say, this is going to be part one where we go all out. We build my absolute dream inventory, like money is no object, like we just go and we spend what we want, that kind of vibe. And then next week we'll release part two, which is going to be the more realistic, like the next inventory I want to have and how we're going to work towards it, and then you guys can sort of come on that journey with me. So if you enjoy this sort of content, please hit that like button. If you're new, hit that subscribe button, and let's dive right into it. Now, usually I'd keep the gloves and knives until the end, but I think in this case, we're going to show them first so you can see how the gloves look with all the skins. Now, the dream inventory isn't always a case of buying the most expensive, and you can see this here. So for the green gloves, I'm going to go for the Moto Gloves Turtle in Factory New. These are about, it's odd reading prices here when things are like $1,000. This is $1,119 for these in Factory New, but they look super crisp, super clean. I'm planning to pick up a field tested pair of these very soon myself to sort of start building the inventory a little further. But my overall vibe is I like the sort of green and the orange skin, so going for the turtle gloves, because green is going to be my primary, orange is kind of like secondary. It works really well. And then rather than spending 10k on a Karambit, Gamma Doppler, Emerald, we're going to spend about $2,799, basically $2,800 to get a Phase 2 Factory New Karambit. Now, you can even see like the wear on like the side of like the knife here, but this Phase 2 looks super nice. I think if you can't get the Emerald, obviously like the Phase 2 is the next equivalent for it, and I think even CS2, like the Phase 2 itself looks super good. So I think this is an absolutely cracking knife and glove combo, so I'm going to pin this as my dream combo. Kind of wish the Talon knife would have a Gamma Doppler because I prefer the animations, but this is where we're at for now. So with the knife and glove sorted, you guys see this absolute fabulous combo. Let's run through the pistols and then through the rifles. So for the pistols, I'd go for a USB and Monster Mashup Factory New in Stat Track. Obviously, this plays into the green inventory really well. It is kind of like greeny blue, but overall, you've got the green sort of crocodile beast on it. So I think it'll work splendid for what we're going for. And then this is one where basically where we can get Stat Track, we will. And then some options you don't have Stat Track available. We're going to spend a pretty penny to get the Glock 18 Gamma Doppler. This one's going to be Emerald, which is why it's a minimal wear. It's about $360. However, it looks incredible, and we're talking like, let's just look at this combination between like the knife, the gloves, and then the Glock. Like, it just pairs in so well together. For the Desert Eagle, I'd like to avoid butchering the name, but it's the Emerald Jormungandr. I don't know if that's how it's meant to be pronounced, but for one, it's really the only like green deagle you're getting that's really nice. Factory New is about $276. For me, it looks crazy good. I love like the Norse mythology, so I love that sort of design on it. This is the deagle that long term I want to get. And then you guys know that when I get a Monster Mashup, I love to pair it with the See You Later P250, also in Stat Track Factory New for just under $40. When it comes to like green skins, this one is absolute perfection. And it's also worth noting that I like the stat track counter on the green skins, because obviously green's the primary colour, the orange is the secondary colour we're going for, stat track counter's orange, so it kind of always adds into that element. And then for the 5.7, I'm actually going to go for an Angry Mob in stat track, about $37 for this one. Again, I sort of went for the orange and green pairing in this. I could have gone for a neon kimono, which is like $2,000 for a 5.7, but that's unrealistic. That's not what we're going to get. I wouldn't pick it for my dream inventory, so Angry Mob it is. Now, dream inventory doesn't always mean spending big. You can see this here with the Bamboozle, $2.73 with Factory New. For Stat Track, for whatever reason the server currently can't load Stat Track, absolutely glitching out on it. So this would be Stat Track. We're showcasing a neon Stat Track version. I think this is amazing, especially for this sort of green inventory that we want to build. And now for the rifles, where we spend pretty much half of the total cost on the AK. If you've watched my AK ranking video, you'll know what I had in at number 1, so this will make sense because it's going to be the Wild Lotus in Factory New. This skin is incredible for me. It's absolutely my favourite skin in CSGO, at least for the AKs. We do kind of need like a nice green middle ground option to drop. Like we've got the Ice Cold, which is like that green blue budget option. And then we've got the Wild Lotus, which is $11,566 in Factory New, which is crazy. I've seen rumours of an AK-47 containment breach coming out, and I think that'd be one where it fills that gap nicely of being like $400 in Battle Scar to a couple grand in Factory New, and it sort of fills that void in between. But for right now, it's going to have to be the Wild Lotus. I love the skin. Then for the M4A1S, we go away from the green thing, because really it's only the Infosource S we can go for there. And we're going to have a Welcome to the Jungle. This is minimal wear, just over $1,700. Whenever I was opening ancient souvenir packages, this is what I was hoping would pop out. I actually got beaten by one on the opening. I think it was like it popped up and it was 2 away from being the thing I got. Obviously, that's Gamba. It makes you want to open more, but it looked oh man, just seeing it possibly come through would have been amazing. So this would be the M4A1S I go for. Then over on the M4A4 side of things, it's going to be a Stat Track Emperor. This one is not green or orange at all, but on the M4A4 side of things, I don't personally use it at the minute, and I'm not like crazy on like a lot of the skins because there's no really good green skins. There's lots of good A4 skins, nothing really green, nothing really orange outside of the Azimuth, which is why I've just gone for a skin that I like in this case. Factory New Emperor Stat Track, $350. Wonderful. Now, we've mentioned the Containment Breach already, and it would make sense to go for that as the op if we wanted just to go purely for the green. Obviously, the Aetherius exists, and Aetherius, I always say, is a top 5 op. Aetherius is incredible. You get it for under $10. Absolutely beautiful. If you wanted to go for that sort of like flexi upgrade, and you want the green, Containment Breach makes sense, but I'm going to go for a different option here. Which means we go from spending maybe like, what, $760 on the Containment Breach, and instead we spend nearly $3 on a Desert Hydra. Now, Desert Hydra is incredible looking. Obviously, it's an orange skin. I know my gloves aren't crazy orange. You've only got like some small accents off them, but I feel like it still fits in for this like green and orange sort of vibe we want to go for. This is factory new. You can see it like 1,000. Go for Battle Scarred and get a black scope, which gives off similar feels to like what you get with the black and moth. I actually really like this, but I still think I prefer the white if I had to pick one. And then for the last few skins, we kind of step away from the theme side of things and just go for skins that we like. And in this case, we're going to have a Stat Track Dragonfire Scout, $41 for minimal wear. I can't get the Stat Track to load again, so we're using non-Stat Track here, but I would go for Stat Track. I think it's super nice. And then for the Famous, we're actually going to go for one that I own already, so we wouldn't need to go buy it, but if we did, it would be $5.63. Minimal wear Spectrum ZX. I think we do need some better Famouses. We're kind of basically limited to what is like, we've got the Spectrum, we've got the Mecha Industry, we've got the Eye of Athena. I think there's another one I'm missing, but outside of that, kind of limited on the Famouses, so it'd be really nice to see some like better new Famous come through in orange or green, preferably. For the Gale, I was very tempted by the Sugar Rush, but I wanted to stay somewhat close to the theme, so instead I went for a factory new Cerberus for just under $55. I like the Cerberus style skins. Obviously, it's this kind of like yellow, not so much green, but it's close to. I think the Sugar Rush would have had a massive clash with the gloves, which, although we don't need to follow like the theme fully, you don't want to clash. Then for the MP9, it's a no-brainer. I'm going to go for the Hydra. And now we have a bit of a theme here. We've got the Desert Hydra, we've got the Hydra, we've got the Cerberus Gale. It's fitting in nicely, both on a color base and also like the sort of what is on the skin design. I think the Hydra's crazy nice. You get this for basically 30 on the nose for factory new in Stat Track. Then much like the Tech 9 you see here, we're going to go for a nice budget option for the Mac 10 because I really like the allure. I would take this in Stat Track again. Server isn't low in Stat Track, but $3.13 for factory new Stat Track. I know when you're looking at it, when you're spending 11 grand on an AK and then you go spend $3 on a Mac 10, a little bit of a difference, but I still think the skin is beautiful. And delivers everything you really need in like an SMG you're going to buy here and there just to go rush. And then the final skin, as usual, is going to be a Mag 7. I'm going to go for a Stat Track Justice because I think if you're going to buy Mag 7, you're going to be buying it on eco rounds. It's kind of cool just to stack sort of cool to track how many kills you're going to get for it. Monster Kills, what I personally have at the minute, but I think the long-term upgrade would be the Justice, unless we get a Mag 7 in the next case or next collection that kind of allows that shift towards the more green or more orange that doesn't break the bank. So guys, that's going to round off my dream inventory. We could have obviously built it out with like 30 skins covering every single weapon skin, but I wanted to keep it to the same format we have at the minute where we had been doing 15. We've now introduced the Tech 9 into it, so 16 skins in total. The grand total cost for this dream inventory is $21,362.06. So it's a little bit expensive, like I say. Literally half of that, 11,566, is for this Wild Lotus alone. So you could take that AK out and go for something even like, say, a couple grand lower, and you're going to reduce it drastically. But you guys asked for the Dream Inventory, so this is the Dream Inventory. Obviously, there's some ways you could upgrade it. You could go for something like the Emerald Web Specialist Gloves, or even the Hedge Maze Gloves, which are like 8k for factory new. But I think this is a really nice rounded Dream Inventory. So guys, let me know in the comments down below what you think of it. If there's any, well, if there's any suggestions you think of how I could actually improve it, if you think I've missed anything. So we didn't include crafts in this because that adds a whole other layer of cost and options onto it. So I think this is really nice to say. This is part 1. Next time, next week, we'll do part 2, which is going to be like working towards the next step of the inventory that's a little bit more realistic and doesn't cost like the deposit for a house or a car. So if you enjoy it, hit that like button. As I say, if you're new around here, hit that subscribe button as well. All the support's been greatly appreciated, guys, and we'll catch you in the next one. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.